Hello, my bone building friends. I'm Sarah, and I am so glad to be with you here today. So, in the last week, I've had a couple of people reach out and ask what to do when they have sciatic pain and they also have osteoporosis. So today, I put together a little yoga practice that is bone safe and it's gentle. It's intended to ease sciatic pain. So for this practice, you will want a blanket, a bolster if you have one. If you don't happen to have a bolster, you can use extra blankets or a long bed pillow. And you'll probably want a couple of blocks and your yoga mat. We're gonna get started lying down on our backs, and I will see you there. So the first thing that we're going to do is arrange our props. I'm gonna set blocks off to the side of my mat. And I'm going to park my blanket and my bolster within easy grabbing distance. And I'm going to go ahead and make my way down to the mat in a way that's intended to spare my spine. So to keep my back straight is what it means to spare the spine. I'm going to go ahead and come down onto one side and then roll over onto my back. So now that you're on your back, go ahead and bring your feet together with your knees out to the side. So this laying down butterfly pose or bound angle pose is intended to just gently work through your hip flexors, which are definitely affected by sciatica. You can bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing up towards the sky, and eyes can be open or closed. Totally up to you. Do what feels the best in your body. Sciatic pain can be something as simple as a numbing or tingling feeling like a dull ache, or it can be a sharp, shooting, burning pain. It's miserable, no matter how you slice or dice it. And this yoga practice is intended to ease sciatic pain in a bone-safe way. Go ahead and open your eyes if they're not already. And place both feet flat on the mat, about hip width apart. Doesn't matter if they're out further, closer in, wherever it feels right in your body, but placing your feet down on the mat, about hip width apart. Bring your arms out at about a 45-degree angle from your body, placing the palms of your hands down on the floor. And then to create stability and safety, coming into bridge pose, take the back of your head and press straight down into the mat. Not hard, but just enough so that your head really knows, okay, I'm pressing into the floor. And then take your shoulders and press them straight into the floor as well, making sure that you don't bring your shoulder blades together, but that they just go straight down. Then go ahead and inhale and lift your hips up towards the sky. This is a safe way to do bridge pose when you have osteoporosis. Go ahead and bring your focus to your breath. And go ahead and lower down. Take a moment to let your body soften. Letting your head and your shoulders soften, and your legs, all of your body, just take a moment to rest. Go ahead and repeat bridge pose. Press down into the mat with your head, and then press your shoulders straight down into the mat. Your next inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky, and bring your focus to your breath. And lower down to the mat. Nice work. Go ahead and let your body soften, letting your head relax and your shoulders relax. Just taking a moment, give yourself a full breath cycle. Then go ahead and pick your right foot up, crossing it over your left knee. We're going to come into figure 4 stretch. We're working through the hips, which is important for easing sciatic pain. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your left thigh, and if you can't reach, you could also use a strap. And then start to draw both legs in closer towards your torso. Sometimes you'll see this pose done from a chair, but it's really safer when you have osteoporosis to do this lying flat on your back because it keeps your spine from rounding. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can use your right elbow to press against your right thigh. Totally up to you. Just feeling into your hips. And bring your focus back to your breath. And go ahead and release. Let's switch to the other side. Go ahead and take your left foot across your right knee. And then again, options. You could use a strap to wrap around your right thigh, or if you can interlace your hands behind your right thigh and draw both legs in closer towards your torso, with the option to use your left elbow to press against your left thigh, deepening the stretch. Then go ahead and bring your focus back to your breath. And go ahead and release. Really nice work. All right, we're gonna roll over onto our bellies. Go ahead and make your way onto your side, and then come over onto your tummy. Bring both forearms out in front of you, and if this is too difficult, it's okay to lower down and lift up just as far as you can. That's totally acceptable. Absolutely. This is supposed to work in your body. It doesn't have to be a particular way. This is about feeling things in your body. So option to either bring your hands underneath your shoulders and just to lift your head up as much as you can, or to bring both forearms out in front of you and to lift yourself up into Sphinx pose or into a baby cobra, totally up to you. And then lift up through the crown of your head, working to lengthen. So this pose is a wonderful pose to strengthen your back. It's a great pose if you have osteoporosis. It's also easing some of the tension that could be potentially pinched off by your sciatic nerve. And from here, go ahead and lower all the way down to the mat and bring your arms out alongside your torso. You can let your forehead come all the way down to the mat. And from here, inhale, lift your head, shoulders, and your arms up off the mat, coming into a half locust. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your head, shoulders, and arms, coming into a half locust once more. Exhale, lower down. This time we're going to come into a full locust. Inhale, lift your head, shoulders, arms, and your legs. And bring your focus to your breath. Nice work. Go ahead and lower down to the mat. You can bring your hands underneath you. You can make a little pillow for underneath your forehead if that feels good. Just take a moment to let yourself melt into your mat. go ahead and lift your head up, bringing both hands underneath your shoulders, and lift yourself up into a tabletop position. So if this agitates your knees, you can bring a blankie and place it underneath your knees so that you've got some extra padding. As you arrange your props, make sure that you work to spare your spine as much as possible. Sparing your spine means to keep your back straight rather than letting it come into a rounded shape. Then go ahead, now that you're back into your tabletop position and you've got padding for your knees, go ahead and grab your blocks. Bring them up to the high setting. And with your hands on your blocks, bring your right foot forward. So we're coming into a low lunge. We're stretching out through the hip flexors. This is really important and helpful for easing sciatic pain. So coming into this position, we're working to keep the back straight to keep it safe for osteoporosis. And then from here, it might be that you place your hands on your knee if that's accessible. If it feels good to lift up, maybe you want to use blocks. Maybe you use a chair that's in front of you. That would also be a good choice. And then from here, we're working to come through the hip flexors. So it may be that you're straight up and down, and that's totally okay. But you want to work on coming as far forward as you can in your body, working to come in and stretch out your hip flexors because that can be important for easing sciatic pain. And lift up through the crown of your head, through the top of your head. Bring your focus back to your breath. And go ahead and really bring your hands back to your block. Bring your leg back behind you. Right knee comes back, and take your left foot forward. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So option, you can bring your hands to your knee. You can leave them on your blocks. Maybe you place them on a chair out in front of you. Really up to you. Do what feels right in your body. And then from here, we're going to come in and stretch out your hip flexors on the other side, easing sciatic pain. And go ahead and bring your hands back to your blocks and take your left leg back into your kneeling position. And then from here, bring your hands back down to the mat and set your blocks off to the side. So we're going to come into either a puppy pose or into a wide leg child's pose next. You get to pick. It depends on how comfortable things are for your knees. So if you're going to come into a puppy pose, you're going to stay up high and walk your arms out long in front of you, creating extension in the spine and keeping your back straight. So this is this variation. If you have more mobility and it's comfortable in your knees, then we're going to come into a wide leg child's pose. When you come into a narrow leg child's pose with your legs together and you have osteoporosis, that can create a rounding in the spine, and we want to avoid that for safety. So if you're going to come into a wide leg child's pose, bring your feet together and take your knees out to the sides. And then come to sit back into your heels as far as it's comfortable for you. So that might be that you come back just a little ways and you stay up. It might be that you come all the way back into your heels. And it may be that you want to use something like a bolster or maybe a long bed pillow. Hopefully you don't have to chase yours. Hopefully yours stayed put better than mine. So you may want to place something like a pillow back behind, and then you can come to sit back on your pillow or your bed pillow or your bolster, or you could even use more blankies. And then from here, walk your arms out long in front of you, coming into a wide leg child's pose. You could even grab one of your blocks and place it here for your forehead to rest on if that feels good. And walk your arms out as long as you can, creating extension in your spine. And bring your focus to your breath. And go ahead and lift yourself up, walking your hands back in, setting your block off to the side. Go ahead and lift yourself up, scooching your pillow or bolster off to the side. We're going to come into legs up the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and turn myself around and make my way over to the wall. So you could do legs up the wall lying down in your bed and take your legs up the wall from bed. You could do it laying on the floor and bring your legs up the sofa. It's okay if your knees are bent. And then you can also do this just coming into the wall flat, or you could use a bolster underneath you. Find the variation that's the most comfortable in your body, and then mindfully lower yourself down to the floor or your bed or wherever you're headed, and take your legs up the wall. Again, knees can be bent. We're just working on coming in as close to the wall as you can, as far as it's comfortable for you. Feet can be together, feet can be out to the side. Totally up to you. Bring your arms out to the sides with your palms facing up towards the sky. And take a moment to close your eyes and let everything in your body soften and relax. Start to slowly bring feeling back into your fingers and your toes. Go ahead and open your eyes. And start to slowly bring your legs down the wall. Rolling over onto your side and lifting yourself up. Mindfully working to spare your spine. I hope that you have found this practice helpful, that it helps to ease your sciatic pain, and that it feels good in your body, and that you have the peace of mind knowing that it's also a bone safe practice. If you'd like to learn more about bone health, you can check out the links in the description down below. My website has blogs that address various topics related to bone health, and I have a free download that will share 3 things that your doctor didn't tell you about osteoporosis. I hope you find those resources helpful, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.